Audio check, 1 2 1 2. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Motive Racing YouTube channel. We are here tonight in Saudi Arabia at the Jeddah Corniche circuit, and we are here for the second round of Season 8 here for the Motive Racing Formula 1 League. As you can see, we're just in the early stages of the qualifying session at the moment. Also, I want to apologise for the slightly below par audio quality at the moment. I've got my controller on charge, and it's charging on one of those wireless bays. So obviously my headset can't be plugged in because it's currently plugged into the bottom of the controller is plugged into the little bay. So basically, at the moment, the audio is not too great, but it will be back to the usual standard very, very shortly once I plug those headphones in. So fear not. Don't worry, it's going to be sorted out pretty soon. But just for the time being, we're going to be having to deal with some not ideal audio quality here. But as soon as the charge is up to 2 bars, then we'll be back on the usual mic. So I'm just going to quickly double check the quality. Yeah, it really isn't great. I've just heard it. It sounds pretty terrible, if I'm perfectly honest with you. But nonetheless, we've got to deal with it until the controller's at 2 bars. As soon as it's at 2 bars, I'll feel safe yanking it off of this bay. But until that time comes, I'm just going to have to leave it on here because my brain just tells me that it's a bad idea. I can't remember why, but some experience in the past, I know for a fact that it's a bad idea to take the controller off a charge, and if it's not got 2 bars, it's not going to last an hour. That's kind of like my thinking of it. So I don't know where I got that information from, but it's there, it's in my head, and I'm sure that I'm not thinking that for no reason. But anyway, we're currently watching Bad Boy here on his first flying lap of the session here, and coming through the middle part of the lap, running on board here. You can see how close the walls are and how uncompromising this circuit is. One little mistake and your lap is going to be completely and utterly blown apart. And you just see another car moving to the side. That was a Williams there. It was either Freddie or Oliver, but obviously a mistake happening there on that particular lap that they were on. But Bad Boy looking pretty good so far here on this lap, coming in towards the final sector, towards the final corner. Let's see what Bad Boy can do into the final corner now. Wide entry, picking it up nicely there in the mid part of the corner. As Drago's done a 31.6, is Bad Boy going to improve on that and go to the top of the leaderboard here? Over the line comes Bad Boy, and it's a big improvement there, 3.4 seconds quicker than what Drago was able to do. So Bad Boy there showing that he's got the pace here so far tonight. For sure, that's a marker that's been laid down there by Bad Boy, and Drago's now going to have to regroup and go again here. And Senna has improved now by 2/10 over Bad Boy, so that's a fantastic up there from Senna as well. Senna now on a 28.0. We're now knocking on the door of the 127s here. Still the controller is on 1 bar out of 3. Matty Pitt's gone into, well, it was 3rd, it's now 4th. Beaton Ultra's now gone up into 3rd place. Beaton Ultra, the championship leader for the Purple Sector Formula 1 League on Tuesday and Thursday. They've been commentating on that over the course of this week. It's now the 3rd night I've commentated on 4 nights after going 3 nights without commentating a single time. But yeah, it's been exciting. It's been great to get back into the swing of it. Really enjoyed the racing over the last few days. Purple Sector, they really have got a good unit going there. There's very, very fair, clean racing, competitive league. The speed it isn't quite on the level that we've got here on a Friday night, but regardless, it's still nothing to be sniffed at. And as I said before, it's very competitive as well. We've got a lot of people who are similar level of driver, and that's really what you want. It's not about having the best of the best. It's more about having a closely matched competitive. That's what you want to see in competition. That's what you want to see in any sport, is closely matched competitors. But Beaton Ultra appears to have run out of fuel here. He's going to be coasting around. You've got Senna's still sat at the top of the pile here, obviously on an in-lap. Bad Boy's coming into the pits. V10 Ultra currently in third place. Matty Pitt is P4 at the moment as he's coming through the final sector. You've got Drauga, who's 1.2 seconds up on his personal best here, and his personal bet. Oh no, hold on, that was the end of his previous lap. So that was his lap that improved on what he was on before, which is now what he's got at the moment. So yeah, that's Drauga P5 at the moment. Freddie's gone into P6. He's just over 2 seconds off for the fastest time, being set by Senna. You've got T coming into the pits here as well. Random already in the pits. Rexy Boy and Spazman out there at lap times. Is Rexy Boy going to improve as he comes over the line? Let's see. He goes up into P8, so gets the time on the board there. Oh, is it going to be a good time to put the controller in? Yes, it is. Here we go. Right. 2 bars on the battery. That's it. Headset's coming out. Headset's coming out. Lovely jubbly. Welcome back, everybody. Apologies for the very below par audio quality that you would have had to experience up until a few moments ago, but the controllers, or rather, yeah, the controller's now sufficiently charged that I'm happy to now have it out. But I'm going to have the audio in the background because these headphones do tend to just, for some reason, they discharge themselves from the audio jack. So I'm just going to have to keep it in the background just so I know if in case it goes off, but it shouldn't do. But we've got the top 3 all in the pits. Senna, Bad Boy and V10 Ultra. Spazman is currently out there. Our only non-PlayStation driver currently in the session here. Also missing a driver. I think Justify is supposed to be here, but hasn't turned up yet. So we're expecting Justify to turn up at some point during quali, as he did confirm he would be here. So obviously once we've got Justify, we'll have a full house from next to what we expected. But Spazman here coming into the final sector here, and currently on the in lap by the looks of it. Freddie's up on his previous lap, but he's currently down in the first sector here, so he's backed out of it. But Freddie improved up into P6 on that previous lap. Rexy Boy is currently down in the middle sector. You've got Random on an out lap at this moment in time. Oliver's currently on a flying lap. Let's jump on board with Oliver here. Currently P11, still yet to set a lap time, so that P11 doesn't really mean much. Always there's a car on the racing line there, which is, well, I suppose just a little bit off the racing line, but still not ideally placed for anybody on flying laps coming through. Oliver here through the final corner. Oh, he takes it too tight. Went into the wall there on the inside, and he's going to pit. Let's see. You know, he's going to keep his foot flat to the floor here. Over the line comes Oliver, and it's P9, so moves ahead of Rexy Boy. But really fluffed the final corner there, did Oliver. Random still yet to do a flying lap. Papa Squanch and Anime Boy likewise. Senna's back out on the track, so is Bad Boy. Those top 2 in this current qualifying session. You've got V10 Ultra in the pits, third place man, with presumably a bit of work to do here. Spazman 4th, doing a good job, not too far off of V10 Ultra. Could be challenging for that third spot here. And Matty Pitt a little way off of them in 5th place at this moment in time. But it seems like for the time being it's going to be, at least from what we can see so far, between Senna and Bad Boy for pole. Can V10 Ultra find that bit of time here? V10 had a very strong opening round in Australia. We saw, obviously, took the win last week. Managed to defeat Senna over the course of the race. So these two, we saw them have a great battle. We saw that there was a little bit of a argy-bargy towards the end of the race, but I suppose tensions can boil over when you're battling over the win at a late stage in the race when there's so much on the line. And the extra 7 points and the pride at stake of actually being the first one home, going to also bring out, I think, the worst in a lot of drivers. It brings out the best at times, but it can also bring out the worst. But Senna and Bad Boy here currently top 2. V10 Ultra, hopefully for him, can give a good account and try and get that gap a bit down, maybe even challenge these two for pole position. But he's going to have a lot of work on his hands if he wants to get that one, or if he wants to achieve that. But Senna just starting a flying lap here, coming to the end of the first sector. Let's keep an eye on these split times here between Senna and Bad Boy, because only 0.2 of a second separating them at the moment in this qualifying session. Senna looking pretty attacking here in the first part of the circuit at the moment. Really wringing the neck of that Ferrari at the moment. He's just under a tenth up, a 31.9 first sector there from Senna, a 31.8 from Bad Boy. So Bad Boy a tenth quicker than Senna through the first sector. But Senna's still pushing.
But Bad Boy 2/10 up on his personal best, but he was slightly up on Senna's time in that first sector there by just under a tenth of a second. He was quicker than Senna. Senna's now got to find the time in the rest of this lap, otherwise Bad Boy will be replacing him at the top of that leaderboard here. Both of them are going to be likely breaking into the 127s this time around. Senna only half a tenth up on his personal best through the middle sector. What about Bad Boy? 2/10 up through the middle sector. 104 from Bad Boy. What was Senna? I don't remember actually, but I know that Bad Boy's a lot more up on his time than what Senna was. Senna coming into the final corner, looking a little bit hesitant there onto the throttle. Out of the final corner he goes towards the line. Senna currently provisional pole. Is he going to improve on his current fastest time here? He does. 27.7, finds 0.3 of a second there in the final sector. What about Bad Boy? Over the line he comes, and he can't improve. He could improve, but not by enough. Senna there finding bags of time in that final sector. He absolutely flew around that final part of the circuit. Senna 0.3 to the good of Bad Boy, as we see Papa Sconch moving up into third place there ahead of Vita and Ultra. But big news here is that Senna, for most of that lap, was pretty so-so. Only half a tenth up on his personal best through the first two sectors, but then that final sector there, he found 2.5 tenths of a second on his previous personal best. He absolutely Max Verstappened it, but without the putting it in the wall in 2021. Yeah, just put it even further ahead, and Bad Boy's actually retired from the session here, so clearly Bad Boy doesn't think he's got any more time in the bag. Either that or he's stacked it, but I think probably what's more likely is that he's seen that time and thought, you know what, I'm just going to focus on the race here. I'm going to sort out my strategy. I'm going to get things figured out, take a little break, take a breather, go back to the drawing board and just get my head straight after that. But Papa Squanch, third place, a good lap there from him. Vita and Ultra still yet to emerge for his final run, or for another run. It's going to be his final run, the next one, whatever happens now at this stage. But yeah, Senna absolutely killing it out here tonight. 13 drops currently in the session. I think we're expecting a couple more at least to be jumping in. I think there was 15 that readied up or confirmed they were going to be driving tonight, so that's obviously what we're going to be looking out for here. Yeah, 14 regulars and 1 reserve. So yeah, we should be having a couple more jumping in before the end of this session, but currently 13 in the session right now. Senna coming into the pits, the provisional pole sitter, so clearly he's going to be getting ready for one more run. You would have thought anyway, because he's probably not secure. I wouldn't have thought he's completely safe in that, because you never know. Vita and Ultra had pace last Friday for the opening round of the season in Australia, where unfortunately weren't able to be here. But yeah, Vita and Ultra was the man who took the win last week in Australia, so he'll be looking to at least be on the front row here tonight. We've got Spazzaman currently out there on a flying lap. A bit down in the first sector there, so I think the Spazzaman's backed out of this one. Random's currently coming through the middle sector here, also on a flying lap. Let's jump aboard with Random here, currently P6. Currently a second and a half off of the provisional pole time, but only half a second off of third place here, so it's pretty tight from Papa Squanch down to Random. Papa Squanch V10, Spazzaman and Random separated by half a second on this leaderboard, as we see Random coming through towards the final sector now, and he's 7/10 up, so as it stands, Random even, should I say, will be putting it into P3 if he can hold it together for the final part of this lap. Let's see what he can do here. So Random here coming into the final, or towards the final corner. Spots his braking point, gets it all a bit wide on the entry to the final corner. That would have just lost him a little bit of his ideal speed there, because he wouldn't have had the perfect line, and he's coming into the pits. So Random's lost all the time in the final part of that lap there. Spazzaman in the pits, as Vita and Ultra's back out on the circuit to do his first lap in a little while, because it's been a minute since he was out there. Obviously did the first runs and then kind of skipped the middle runs and sat in the pits during that time. So Vita and Ultra is going to be attempting to try and improve the time. Can he get on the front row? Can he even challenge Senna's pole position? If he's got the pace to do so, then he didn't show it in the first runs, but maybe he's got a trick up his sleeve here in the final part of qualifying. Senna's still in the pits, hasn't left the garage just yet. Not sure if he's planning on doing so, but Papa Squanch there, also in the pits. Vita and Ultra's out there. Spazzaman coming back out for another run. saw moments ago came into the pits after the previous run. Random still in the pits. Matty Pitt and Freddie both out there on outlaps. T's out there on a flyer at the moment. So is Drauger. You got Rexy Boy in the pits. Oliver is on an outlap, and Anime Boy is currently in the pits as well. Let's jump on board with Beaton Ultra though, currently fourth place in this session. The winner last week in Melbourne. And let's see what he's able to do here. Watch out closely in the top right hand corner, that will tell us what the sector 1 time is. So it's a 32.1 there from Beaton Ultra in the first sector, just under 0.2 of a second up. Senna and Papasconch are both out on the track, so they are going to go for another run here. But Beaton Ultra currently coming to this middle part of the lap. If he can gain that time consistently throughout the lap, then he'll be able to pit Papasconch there for third place and start in that position on the grid. But is he going to be able to consistently find that time throughout the course of this lap? Here we come towards the middle sector checkpoint. Let's see what the time is. He's nearly half a second up here, so Beaton Ultra flying at the moment. Certainly is going to displace Papasconch. Could even get on the front row here if he can keep up this sort of momentum coming in towards the final part of the lap now. This final corner is such a maker or a breaker. It's where all of the lap. Lovely turn in there. Really nicely hooked up the apex there. Took some good speed into the corner as well, up towards the line. Beaton Ultra, what's it going to be for him? He goes up into P3, so only 0.2 of a second off of a front row, but he's going to have one more lap, which he's not going to do because he's obviously not got enough fuel, so he's backed out of it. And Beaton Ultra there will be P3 at best here for this one. Senna is back out onto the track. Papasconch is out there. He's going to try and move back up ahead of Beaton Ultra. Has he got the pace to challenge Bad Boy second place? Bad Boy retired from the session very early on. But Papasconch here just coming through towards the end of the first sector. Let's keep an eye on that timing screen. Just under 32 seconds is the benchmark here for most of them. Just over for him. So 0.3 up though on his personal best. Tell you what, if he can keep up that sort of pace, he might be close here to V10 Ultra. Who knows? Maybe even Bad Boy at this point. But Papasconch here driving in the green. Stake F1 car. Always mess up that corner that he just took back there. Whenever I play this game, it's probably why I don't drive. But Papasconch here towards the middle sector checkpoint. Let's keep an eye on the top right hand corner. And he's 0.4 up. So as things stand, he's likely going to be able to move ahead of Beaton Ultra. If he can find a tenth or two in his final sector, then he'll be lining up in third place here. If he can find 0.3, he might even be on the front row. But here comes Papasconch into the final corner. Late on the brakes. Oh, managed to get it turned in there. Onto the power nice and early as well. Papasconch here up towards the line. Currently fourth place in this session. Is it going to be an improvement here for him? It is an improvement, but it's not enough to move him up the order, and he stays in P4. So Beaton Ultra holds on to third. Spazzaman's come over the line. P5 for Spazzaman. Random's just coming through the final part of the lap, but he's not going to improve. He's currently P6 and he's slower than he's been before. Matty Pitt 7th. He's also backed out of it. Drauger seems to have also finished the session. Freddie in 9th place isn't going to improve either. T's retired from the session already. Somebody's improved here. Anime Boy there up in 7th place. So Anime Boy there, 29.6. T out of the session. Rexy Boy is 12th and is not going to improve here. And Oliver appears to be limping around with no front wing. No, he has got a front wing, sorry. It just blends in beautifully with the car. So, yeah, that's Oliver coming into the pits here at the end of his run. So, looks like it's going to be Senna here on pole position. And look at that. I just noticed that he improved his time at the end of the session there to a 27.4. That is absolutely rapid there from Senna. He's 0.6 of a second clear of Bad Boy at the top of the leaderboard. That is an ominous signal there to the rest of them here. So Senna, 0.6 quicker than Bad Boy, 0.8 quicker than last week's race winner, V10 Ultra. That is quite worrying if you're either of those two, Bad Boy or V10. There's been lots of talk. There's been expectations that it's going to be a three-way fight for the title here between Senna, Bad Boy and V10 Ultra. But those two might be starting to question that at this point. Well, I'm sure they won't be, but it's something that myself as a commentator and maybe the drivers might be scratching their heads for sure, because Senna appears to have some great pace around his circuit. And, well, we know he's got pace around most circuits, as a rule of thumb, but especially here tonight, he appears to be absolutely on it. There's been lots of talk, there's been expectations there's going to be a three-way fight for the title here between Senna, Bad Boy and Vita Ultra, but the qualifying session should be ending here, because I think we've now hit the end of the timer. There we go. So we're now getting pinged into the default end of session screen. So that is Senna there taking the fastest time here in qualifying for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix here at Motive Racing. Second round of the season. Keep thinking in my head it's the first round. Obviously I wasn't here last week for Australia, so for me it's the first round, but we are one round into the season, and these drivers have already had their warm-up. They've already got their excuses out of the way. Now this is where they've really got to get their heads down and show what they're made of. And Senna, they're doing a fantastic job tonight in qualifying. Just under 6/10 is gap over Bad Boy, with V10 Ultra third. Pavasquancha on up alongside V10 on the second row, with just over a second separating the top four in the end. As some of you might be able to hear my voice in the background. Hopefully it's faint enough that it's not a frustration. The reason why it's there is just because quite often these headphones do pop out, so I'm trying to make sure that if they do, then I know straight away. So if I don't hear myself yapping away in the background, then I know that my headphones have fallen out. Hopefully it should be faint. I've sort of judged it so that it's just quiet enough to not be a major problem, but also so that I could hear it, if you see what I mean. But yeah, exciting times here at the start of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix here at Motive Racing, and we're about to go for the formation lap in a few moments' time. As we've got Freddie in the comments there saying, "Go Williams," and I believe his teammate Oliver this season, as he is actually in the Purple Sector F1 League on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So these two, they're good mates, and they've been teammates now in a few leagues across many seasons. So here we go then, we're pulling away from the starting grid and getting ready to go here for this race. And we've got a bit of a mixed up strategy as well, which is interesting. Purple Sector on Tuesday and Thursday, I saw most of the drivers doing the same thing, but here it looks like we've got a bit of a mix up. So we've got Senna, Bad Boy and V10. The top three are all on mediums. Pavasquancha has gone for the soft, which is very bold. He's going to have to really push to make those work in the first stint. He's going to have to get ahead of at least, I think, one of these drivers in front of him, probably all of them, if he's to make that work. So Pavasquancha is going to be absolutely tearing around for the first couple of laps. But here we go then, pulling up onto the grid. So Senna onto pole position. I'd say Pavasquancha really needs to get ahead of at least the two in front of him if he's to make this strategy work and get onto the podium here. But nonetheless, here we are, about to go racing here at Jeddah for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix here for Season 8 of Motive Racing. Here on the F1 24 game, lights coming on here at the head of the grid. We're about to go racing, and it is lights out, and away we go. And it looks as though Bad Boy got a slightly better start there from Senna. Down towards turn one. Is he going to get ahead of it? No, Senna's going to hold it around the outside. V10 Ultra there, tucking in with Pavasquancha trying to make a move around the outside. Can't do it. Has to stay behind him for the time being. You got Spazman ahead of Random. Matty Pitt's got ahead of Anime Boy. Freddie's got ahead of Trauger as well. Freddie's now ahead of Anime Boy as well, although those two having a bit of a chop and change there. Pavasquancha's got ahead of V10 Ultra, and V10 Ultra's dropping down the field. He's lost 3 places there to Pavasquancha, Spazza and Random. So V10 Ultra having a nightmare of a start to this race. Last week's race winner has had the pretty much the worst start he could have ever hoped for there. Bad Boy all over the back of Senna as they come down towards this next section. If you look to the inside, he's going to send one there. Oh, it's very, very close there between them. There was a car's width on the inside which Bad Boy tried to go for, and Senna closed the door. They left just enough there to sort of say that he actually followed the rules of racing, and Senna for the time being holding on to the race lead, but Bad Boy pushing him all the way at the moment. And this is a great little fight between these two on the first lap of the race. Pavasquancha second behind in third place, with Spazman there ahead of Random. V10 Ultra trying to make up for the lost positions here on this opening lap. He's all over the back of Random right now, looking to try and find a gap. Random defending all over the road right now as V10 Ultra looks to get a cut back there. He's going to surely make this one work, and he swoops around the outside there up into 5th place, and V10 Ultra back up into P5. But Senna has got Bad Boy really close for company right now. Bad Boy letting Senna know that he's not going to be allowed to run away with this one here tonight. Anime Boy in the meantime has got around Matty Pitt up into 7th place, goes a little bit deeper to the final corner though. How's that going to compromise his his run onto the start-finish straight. Matty Pitt giving him a big old tap in the rear there as they came out of the final corner. Drauga's moved ahead of Freddie up into P9. As we can see behind them, you've got Rexy Boy T, and Oliver has had damage on the first lap and he's coming into the pits, and that's pretty much the worst case scenario there for Oliver. Senna though leading ahead of Bad Boy as they're coming round here on lap 2 of the race. Bad Boy still hassling and hounding the back of Senna at the moment. Papa Squanch, Spazman, V10 Ultra and Random, and there's the rest of them in the background. They're still fighting in the mid-pack. So as we see Rexy Boy running a little bit wide there and opening himself up to an attack here from T for 11th place. Oliver though in the pits at the end of the first lap. That's gone a horror show there for him. His teammate currently occupying a points paying position at the moment in P10, but look at this battle out the front between Senna and Bad Boy. These two title contenders, and their other title contender here, V10 Ultra, not having the best of nights so far down in P5, but these two really showing their credentials at the moment, and Senna definitely had to get his elbows out on that first lap because Bad Boy was not messing about. He was looking up the inside. They gave each other so much respect as well, in all fairness. And there was a moment there where Bad Boy had his nose up the inside, and I was thinking, surely neither of them is going to back out. Surely Senna's going to close the door. Surely Bad Boy is going to lunge. And in the end, they both held their ground and they both went through the corner side by side. It was just brilliant racing. It's exactly what you want to see in sim racing. Such clean and fair racing, but so close as well. Both neither of them giving each other any more room than they had to. As Senna there just about keeping on to it coming out the final corner, but Bad Boy's going to have DRS down the start finish straight, and I have a feeling that he's not going to have any defence here, is Senna. Bad Boy's going to get that closing speed here coming over the line here. He's going to look to the outside now. Senna's going to send him round the long way. Senna seems to have better straight line speed than Bad Boy, and that's keeping him in good stead right now. And Spazman's made the move there on Papa Squanch, and V10 Ultra trying to knock him while he's down as well. And Papa Squanch there losing 2 places there. V10 Ultra up into 4th place. Spazman now running in a podium place. So drama all over the place right now in the battle for the podium places, as Random's now waiting in the background watching this unfold in front of him. What a great fight we're seeing here for 3rd place as the 2 leaders continue to just disappear off into the sunset right now. Senna's now got the gap just outside a 2nd here to Bad Boy, so he's now broken that DRS straight, which is going to be absolutely crucial there for him, as Freddie's made a move here on Anime Boy, and so has Drauga. So those two now moving up into 8th and 9th places respectively. Anime Boy down to P10. T's moved ahead of Rexy Boy up into 11th place as well, and so much going on right now. But Senna has now got the gap at 1.3 seconds over Bad Boy, and that is exactly what Senna needed here in this race. Obviously he came under pressure here in the opening couple of laps, but here on lap 3 appears to have now got himself into a rhythm. Now what's Bad Boy got to offer him? Is he going to be able to come back at him over the course of this first stint, or is he now just going to hold position and wait for the pit stops to come around? That's going to be the question, what we're going to find out over the course of this race. Spazman's got V10 Ultra really close on him though. V10 can see his championship rivals disappearing into the distance. He knows he's got to pull a move here on Spazman, and he's got to do it quickly before he loses too much time. Out of the final corner he comes onto the power. You can see in that slipstream he's going to have DRS as well. Surely V10 Ultra is going to make this one work. As you can see him closing. Is he going to look to the inside? No, he's going to be forced to the outside here and can't get it done. The DRS around this circuit doesn't appear to be too strong, if I'm honest. It seems like despite having the DRS and the slipstream down the straight, it's a long straight as well. It doesn't really seem like it's making much of a difference right now. And V10 Ultra for the time being having to hold position. Papa Squanch and Random still battling in the background there, but Spazman still holding 3rd place. Interesting though to see that the DRS isn't as strong as it has been on previous F1 games around this circuit, as Senna continuing to extend the gap 2 seconds over Bad Boy right now. Spazman and V10 Ultra with Papa Squanch and Random in the background. Bit of a gap to Matty Pitt there in 7th place, followed by Freddie, Anime Boy, Drauga, with Rexy Boy T and Oliver having pitted on the opening lap, running in down in P13 in this race. But what an opening at first few laps we've had, and now Senna seems to be getting into a groove, doesn't he? I was saying before, in qualifying he was a step above the rest, and Bad Boy kept him on his toes for the first couple of laps, but that was where it pretty much ended. That was where the intrigue and excitement kind of died down, because now Bad Boy appears to be falling off him at a rate. I don't know if he's made a mistake or just, I don't know, maybe he had a nudge into the wall or something, gone wide. I don't know what's happened. But V10 Ultra in the meantime looking around the outside of Spazman, and is this job done? Spazman's going to try and hold his ground. V10 Ultra's made the move, but he's made it just before the DRS zone, so he could be vulnerable here. Spazman now pulling to the outside. You can see there in the background there's Papa Pasquanchis into the pits at the end of lap 4. That's a very early pit stop there. Spazman now looking to the outside on V10 Ultra into turn 1. V10 Ultra's going to try and hold that inside line. Goes late on the brakes and has that inside line and manages to hold on to the position there. V10 Ultra has got third place and pretty much much. I think that he's got that one done now. Random now attacking on the back of Spazman as well here, down towards the next corner, but nothing doing there. I think V10 Ultra will now be able to consolidate at third place and potentially try and chase after Bad Boy in second place, as Bad Boy's closed a little bit on Senna over the last lap or so. It's now 2.5 seconds. It was 3 seconds this time a lap ago. So Senna did pull out that gap. I think Bad Boy's now started to respond to that. So maybe Bad Boy did make a mistake a couple of laps ago. Maybe made a mistake or two, which just extended that gap. But he seems to be reeling it in a little bit at this point, as V10 Ultra's still got Spazman and Random all over the back of him in this battle for third place. As we ride on board with the Ferrari driver, Random, Senna's teammate here. Are we going to see him have a crack here on the back of Spazman? Here we go, getting closer and closer. They've all got DRS here on the back of V10 Ultra, though, which is just helping Spazman out because he's able to defend from the Ferrari behind him and still keep himself within striking distance of the McLaren. I still think V10's probably got the upper hand in terms of pace here over these two. Is he going to defend here into the final corner? Spazman having a look. Oh, and Spazman dipping his nose up the inside. V10 Ultra had to be cautious of that. Had to be conscious of what was going on. Now Spazman's going to get another dose of DRS here down the start-finish straight. Surely he's going to have a chance into turn one. He's going to look to the outside. Moves done before we get to the corner. Spazman back up into third place. V10 Ultra is going to be frustrated at this one because it's now costing him time. Costing him the opportunity to be able to chase after the leaders. So Spazman back up into third place. And Random still waiting in the wings behind these two. Drago still attacking on Freddy for 7th place. Rexy Boy's got ahead of T up into 9th place. Anime Boy and Oliver appear to be battling for 12th place. Both of these two having come in for early pit stops. Papa Squanch was the other one who came in very early on. So Papa Squanch put the hard tyres on lap 4. So he's going to try and go to the end. Clearly going for the undercut here. That's an interesting strategy because he's going to have to go a long way on those hard tyres. He'll have to be the tyre whisperer to get those to the end in good nick. I'm sure they'll go to the end, but what state they're in is going to be a whole other question. But Senna's got a 6-second gap. And Bad Boy's made a mistake. What's happened to Bad Boy? So Bad Boy down to P5, was running in second place, about 2.5 seconds behind Senna, has clearly dropped it somewhere, and now finds himself down in 5th place. He's currently about 2 seconds behind this battle here. Spazman now running in P2. V10 Ultra still attacking on the back of Spazman here. I said earlier on, it's going to be frustrating for V10 Ultra to be stuck in this battle, seeing his two championship rivals ahead of him. Well, one of them has completely dropped out of it, and Senna is now on his own out the front. He's got a 6 or 7 second gap over this pack here, battling over second place. Bad Boy will be wanting to reel these guys in as quickly as he can, but here goes V10 Ultra, and he's going to cruise past Spazman like he's not even there into turn one, back up into second place once again. But I fear that we're going to see this one repeating itself over and over again for the foreseeable. And Bad Boy into the pits here, looking to go for that undercut that we saw Papa Squanch do. The question is, has Papa Squanch already got the undercut here on Bad Boy? It's going to be close. In fact, no, it's not even close there. Papa Squanch, with those extra few laps on those fresh tyres, has cleared Bad Boy by some margin here. Look at this. It's about a 6 or 7 second gap between them. It's not even close. 7 seconds between Papa Squanch and Bad Boy. So, yeah, definitely Papa Squanch coming in at the right time. Obviously, Bad Boy's mistake would have accounted for a bit more of a gap there, but Papa Squanch here absolutely flying on those fresh tyres, and I think the leaders are going to have to watch out here. Maybe try and cover him off quickly if they are indeed planning on doing a one-stop onto the hard tyres. So Senna and V10, Spazman and Random maybe are going to be listening out, especially the latter few, because they're certainly going to come up behind him. But I think Papa Squanch could potentially come out not too far away from Senna here with the pace he's going at this moment in time. So Senna's going to have to really push here. Senna might be wanting to come in and cover Papa Squanch off here so he doesn't lose track position, but for the time being, continuing on. As we can see, Oliver's got a 3-second time penalty there for track limits, and Senna leads over the line to complete lap 7. V10 Ultra ahead of Spazman. Here comes Spazman once again. I said before, a lap ago, we could be seeing this one happening time and time again, and once again Spazman down the inside. And Random still hasn't really got engaged in this battle at all, running in 4th place just behind these two. He's just standing off at the moment, not really looking too trigger happy at this stage. Oh, poles. V10 Ultra making a bit of a mistake there. Random seizing on that without any hesitation. Up into third place he goes. V10 couldn't fight that one at all. Random now into the podium places, but V10 will have DRS the next time they come around the DRS zone. But is he going to be close enough? And also, obviously, Random's got the DRS on Spazzaman, which is going to help him defend as well. So he should be, I reckon, okay to hold on to this podium position for the time being, at least ahead of V10 Ultra. Rexy Boy still a challenging T at the moment for 7th place as well. You got Bad Boy within a second of Freddie in the battle for the final points paying position. Obviously, Bad Boy coming in to the pits already, and Freddie there waving him through, not fighting him at all there by the looks of it. Now Random attacking on Spazzaman. Obviously, he's been at the rear of this trio for a long time. Now he can try and have a crack here. He's looking around the outside of Spazzaman. He's going to try and hold it around the outside. Who will have DRS here? Who is behind the detection point? This is going to be pivotal to who is able to get the better run down the straight here. So it looks like Spazzaman was behind the detection point. So here we go. He's going to return the favour on Random into turn 1 and back up into second place he goes. As we got now V10 Ultra trying to get involved in this one as well. But these three going at it here for second place, and Spazzaman, the right place at the right time there, strategically making sure that he was behind into that detection point. Either that or he was just the right place at the right time, who knows. But nonetheless, he's back up into second place, and V10 Ultra now trying to force the issue here with Random, as these two just starting to drop off of Spazzaman a little bit. Maybe Random off onto the runoff there, and V10's going to seize on that up into third place once again. And these two swapping and changing over and over again over the last couple of laps here. These three have been trading places a lot, but these two are now out of the DRS of Spazzaman, so that's going to pay into the hands here of Random, because he can now have a free attack on V10 Ultra without V10 having a defence from behind. We've got a safety car. Why have we got a safety car? Nobody's retired from the race, but the safety car's been deployed here on lap 9. That's going to bunch the pack up. That's going to... Who's it going to benefit here? I guess Papa Squanch and Bad Boy are going to be the main beneficiaries from this one. So Oliver straight into the pits. Senna is going to need to come in. No, sorry, Papa Squanch and Bad Boy are going to be the main... Sorry, they're not going to be the beneficiaries. They're going to be the ones who lose out massively here, should I say, because they've already pitted. Senna, V10, Random, Spazzaman, they're all going to get free pit stops. I tell you what, V10 Ultra is going to be rubbing his hands together, because a lap or so ago he would have been in 4th place. Now he's going to be in 2nd, right behind his big championship rival Senna. So I suppose if you're V10 Ultra, you're going to be pretty chuffed with that, as he now winds down the pit lane and into his box. And there he goes, off and away once again. As you can see, the Ferrari there of Random still, I think, gets to pull into the box. No. Oh, so V10's lost out in the pit box there. Random into 2nd place, getting the luck of the draw there, did Random. And V10 Ultra down to 3rd place, so he's not going to be on the back of his championship rival. Random's rolled the dice here. He's gone for the medium tyres. I think he started... Did he start on the hards? Let me just rewind a second. We've got a safety car. Why have we got a safety car? Oh, he did. Random started on the hard tyres, so he's now in a brilliant position. Could Random maybe have the pace to challenge Senna here? He's going to have the tyre advantage. He's going to have probably about 7 or 8 tenths of a second a lap of raw potential to start off with, and obviously that will peter out over the course of this second stint. But the big question now is, can he take the fight to Senna, maybe get ahead and get track position and potentially control the race from here on those faster tyres? Could be one to watch here, could Random in 2nd place. But V10 Ultra and Spazzaman, I'm sure, are going to be contenders. Papa Squanch and Bad Boy are going to be frustrated with how this has panned out, especially Papa Squanch, because he came in very early on, attempted the undercut, and he would have got it on, I think, all of them except Senna, if it wasn't for the fact that we had a safety car. Could have even potentially, I think, got ahead of Senna, because he had some pace in those laps after he came out of the pits on those fresh hard tyres. And some clean air as well. That was really doing him some good, but clearly things have not panned out the way that I'm sure he would have envisaged. But nonetheless, we've got, I reckon, the top 6 are going to have a good battle here. I reckon it's going to be an interesting fight for the podium as well. Random all the way down to Bad Boy. I don't know whether Senna's going to be able to run away with it with Random's tyre advantage. If Random can get ahead of Senna in the opening couple of laps here of this restart, then Senna could be dragged into this fight here with these other drivers. So this could be a six-way fight for the win here. You never know. This is going to be interesting to see what happens. But here we are on lap 11 under safety car here. This should be the last lap of the safety car. We should be going at the end of this lap. So it'll be 14 laps to the flag after this one. And everybody should be able to go to the end on their tyres. Random will only have to do 14 racing laps on the mediums, which is doable. It's not easy around this circuit, but it is possible. And for the hard tyre runners, they'll have plenty of tread to go to the end from here. Here we are then, guys, about to go racing once again here at the end of lap 11. We've got 14 laps to go to the end of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix here at Motive Racing. Senna's going to get us back underway, but he's got the driver with the faster tyres on the back of him. So we race teammate Random. Is Random going to play the team game here, or is he going to try and make the most of that tyre advantage whilst it lasts and maybe get track position and potentially put his teammate under some pressure here towards the end of this race? Here we go then. Senna leads us into turn one. Random second as Bad Boy makes the move there on Papa Squanch, but can he make it stick there? Around the outside he goes. He does get it done there up into fifth place. Beautifully done there from Bad Boy as Papa Squanch down in position, but Senna leading the race from Random with V10 Ultra third place, followed by Spazzaman. Bad Boy now in fifth place. Papa Squanch sixth, ahead of Drago seventh, with Matty Pitt there in eighth place. Rexy Boy ninth, T in 10th. Freddie down in 11th place with Anime Boy in 12th place at the moment. But Senna currently with that half a second gap over Random. But the question is Random going to be able to take this fight with that tyre advantage here? It's going to be tight here, and I don't know if there's going to be any team orders at Ferrari. Obviously, Ferrari historically have been known for their team orders, but in recent times haven't really been enforcing them like how they got their reputation for doing so. When you have two number one drivers, it kind of becomes a bit of a difficult situation. But at this stage in the season, can you be prioritising Senna? Obviously, we know that he is a championship contender, and obviously, well, he's obviously a championship contender because he is the champion. He is the reigning champion of the Formula One League from last season. We didn't really get to give him his crowning moment last season because we had to abandon the last two races of the season. But yeah, hopefully we'll be able to give him the credit that he deserves this time around. Obviously, the season before that, he was the runner-up to Teza Muzza. So he's been a driver who's been at the sharp end now for a long time. But his teammate is really putting the pressure on him at the moment. As we can see in the background here, we've got a battle going on right now. You've got Bad Boy and Spazzaman side by side. And Bad Boy swoops around the outside of Spazzaman. He's made it two moves on this restart since we got going again. Bad Boy up into fourth place, can now try and chase down Senna, Random and V10 Ultra. And Random currently the driver who's putting himself in amongst these championship contenders here. Could he be staking his claim tonight for a potential run at this title here? I think Senna, his teammate, might have something to say about that. It's not going to be an ideal situation for the Ferrari drivers, but currently Senna and Random out the front. V10 Ultra, Bad Boy, Spazzaman there in fifth, ahead of Papa Squanch with Trauger in the background there. Matty Pitt, Brexy Boy. We can see A few battles going on here. Anime Boy trying to attack on the back of Freddy. Freddy very close on T at the moment. This battle is for the final point as well between these three. But Senna out the front has got a narrow gap here over Random at this point. Let's jump on board with the man currently running in second place here on those faster tyres that we spoke about before, but he needs to really use that advantage whilst he can, because the mediums do wear out slightly quicker than the hards. So that tyre advantage is being negated as we speak. Every second that goes by, the differential between them is becoming narrower. As we can see, Papa Squanch has made a move on Spazzaman up into P5, but they're side by side on the exit of the corner. Random getting closer and closer to the back of his teammate towards turn one, but holding position for the time being. He's not close enough. Spazzaman here and Papa Squanch here. We're side by side into turn one, and it's going to be very, very tight. Spazzaman down the inside with the inside line, manages to get that move done again on Papa Squanch. Papa Squanch down in position again. Matty Pitt and Drago watching this unfold in the background here on those fresher hard tyres than what Papa Squanch has got. Papa Squanch put those on lap 5, didn't come into the pits during the safety car period. Maybe he's missed a trick there. I know obviously he was going for track position. That's the reason why he came in for the undercut in the first place, but maybe he should have just come into the pits and done what everyone else had done and just covered his losses there. Bad Boy down the inside of V10 Ultra for third place, and he gets that one done there. Brilliant stuff there from Bad Boy, showing he's got some real strong pace on these hard tyres since this restart. He's only 2 seconds off of the race leader Senna, but obviously Senna's got his wingman, his teammate Random on the back of him, but is Random going to play that team game, or is he going to try and go for the win himself here tonight? But Bad Boy now into third place. V10 knows not giving this up. The race winner from last week in Melbourne. He's going to look to the outside again. Bad Boy covering him off at the moment. And these two having a great little dice here for the final podium place, but they're going to be setting their sights further up, I'm sure about that. As here goes V10 again. And he gets that move done there on Bad Boy. So Bad Boy coming back, V10 coming back at Bad Boy. V10 going a bit deep though into the final corner. Bad Boy might have a chance here to come back at him down the start finish straight. And Random's in the lead. Random's overtaking his teammate Senna. Where did he do that? I didn't see that one, but the Ferraris have swapped places here. So the medium tyre runner, Random, has got ahead of the last season's champion Senna. As we can see, V10 Ultra managing to get back ahead of Bad Boy into turn one, and is back up into third position once again here. Random, though, leading the race. That's the big news here. Senna there must have lost the position somewhere through the final sector. Didn't see where that happened. We were too busy watching about third place. It didn't look like they were imminently about to change position, but suddenly I noticed that they were swapped over on my screen. And Bad Boy here still trying to come back at V10. These two are chopping and changing like no tomorrow at the moment. Bad Boy looking to the outside here on V10 Ultra. V10's got that inside line covered off for the time being. Great little fight here between these two right now, V10 and Bad Boy. But Random and Senna still battling it out. Senna's going to look to try and get back ahead of his teammates as quickly as he can here. Bad Boy within 0.2 of a second of V10 Ultra at the moment. Oh, as Bad Boy gets a big slide there. And that's cost him a bit of time. That's just dropped him off at the back of V10 a little bit here. That's given V10 a bit of breathing space and just a moment to regroup here. Papa Squanch here running in fifth place just ahead of Spazzaman, Matty Pitt, Drauga, all in close contention right now as they come into the final corner. Erasida Senna is now back ahead of Random again. So Random's now lost out to his teammate. These two have swapped positions twice in 2 laps here. So Senna now hits the front once again. Spazzaman has moved ahead of Papa Squanch up into turn one. But Senna must have made that move before the final corner, and it shows that the DRS is much stronger on the run towards the final corner than it is down the start finish straight into turn one. That's interesting to note. Sure that drivers would have picked that up and will be more willing to go for moves into that final corner now, knowing that the DRS down the straight doesn't appear to be as good as it is in the final sector. And that will be key to a lot of strategic decisions here. So Senna, your race leader, ahead of his teammate Random right now. And I think that Senna's tyres now are going to start to be on a similar sort of level to Random's medium tyre advantage. I think it's now going to be starting to peter out. So I reckon we're now going to be seeing Senna starting to just consolidate this position, P1, as we've got Bad Boy now pulling to the inside here of V10 Ultra and makes that move into third place once again here. These two continuing to have a great little fight here for the podium places. They're dropping away from the two Ferraris, but they're still giving it everything here that they've got for this final spot on the podium. On board with V10 as he comes back at Bad Boy. No, he backs out of it. I said before, it's going to maybe factor in the idea that the DRS down the straight isn't as powerful as up to the final corner, but V10 Ultra, they're backing out of it, going for that run down the straight, and no such deficiencies in DRS for V10 Ultra down the start from the straight. He's moved up into third place down the inside there into turn one. Beautifully done there from him. Spazzaman, in the meantime, is battling with Papasconch and Matty Pitt. Matty Pitt trying to go around the outside of Papasconch there. Bit of contact between him, and now Drago's going to surely try and capitalise on that, but he can't. And Matty Pitt's going to hold on here as to come down towards this next corner. So Matty Pitt there, staying ahead of Trago for the time being. Spazzaman and Papasconch battling in the foreground there in front of them. V10 Ultra still keeping ahead of Bad Boy at the moment in this battle for third place. And Senna's still leading the race, the battle for the two Ferraris, but Random keeping himself close enough that he could be a potential threat here to the race leader. As Rexy Boy's moved out of T up into P10, as he's on the inside there, has made that move stick by the looks of it. And Random still giving it everything here on the back of Senna. You got Bad Boy making a move once again here on V10 Ultra. But V10's going to have DRS through the next section here. Surely he's going to have another chance to come back at him. These two are just giving each other a bit of a teaser, I suppose, for what's to come in the end of the race. It's going to be right person, or it's going to be right place, right time for whoever's in the position to take the podium place. Bad Boy with track position right now, but V10 Ultra again is going to breeze past him with the DRS like he's not even there. Drago's got back ahead of Papasconch for 7th place. Matty Pitt's jumped both of these two here up into P6. Spazzaman are leading this train of cars. So Papasconch has gone backwards here in this second stint on his worn tyres. Went for the undercut in the first stint, came into the pits very early on, but should have come in under the safety car as well. I really can't figure out why he didn't, to be honest with you. Freddie and T into the pits here at the end of lap 17. Senna and Random still going at it for the lead. They're not really going at it at the moment, they're kind of holding positions. Bad Boy not close enough to make a move on V10 Ultra into that next section. As Matty Pitt here looking close on the back of Spazzaman here. But Spazzaman holding position for the time being. Papasconch and Drago waiting and watching in the background here as these four still in a train of cars here battling over 5th place. On board with Matty as they're coming through the middle sector. But Spazzaman still keeping on to his position right now. Bad Boy attacking on V10 again here. Still can't find a way through. But these two have swapped positions enough times here. I think that it's going to be another one here. Let's jump on board here with Bad Boy with DRS enabled. He's going to pull to the outside. And this is going to be job done here. And that's the inside for the next corner there. Bad Boy back up into 3rd place once again. But V10 will have to DRS down the straight, as we've seen so many times here. Papasconch there moving ahead of Matty Pitt. But Matty Pitt has the inside for the final corner. But Papasconch will have the DRS down the straight. As here we go, V10 Ultra too far back to make the move into turn one this time around on Bad Boy. Matty Pitt has DRS on Spazzaman. Papasconch looking to the outside of Matty Pitt here into turn one. Matty Pitt has that inside covered off. Papasconch trying to go around the outside, nothing doing. Rexy Boy in the meantime has made the move on Anime Boy up into P9 coming into turn one. Job done there for Rexy Boy. So Senna leading the race ahead of his teammate Random at this point. Is Random just looking after his tyres, making sure he can get them to the end. Maybe living to fight another day, waiting to have a crack at Senna in the final part of this race. So yeah, Anime Boy's got ahead of Rexy Boy up into P9 again. But Random here still well within a second of Senna at this point. Still keeping him on his toes. Senna can't relax right now. I mean, I'm sure they've got an agreement. I'm sure they've discussing things in the chat, but you can't be that relaxed when your teammate's got this much pace right behind you. You can't be resting on your laurels. Senna's got to be aware that Random could challenge him here if he wants to. V10 Ultra here, looking to the inside on Bad Boy into turn 1, a little bit too far away. Matty Pitt's also got DRS here on the back of Spazzaman, but not even near close enough to make a move into turn 1. Papa Squanch and Drauga still waiting in the wings behind these, as these four still go at it here. Rexy Boy ahead of Anime Boy down the start finish straight. Matty Pitt too far back on Spazzaman into this next corner, as Anime Boy and Rexy Boy still going at it here. Rexy Boy being squeezed out by Anime Boy, but he's still alongside down towards this next corner. We've got flashing yellow lights here. Caution, double wave yellow flags, which have now subsided. Anime Boy keeping onto that position whilst going wide there. So a bit naughty there. Senna though still leading the race ahead of his teammate Random. V10 Ultra's got a 3-second time penalty. He's got pulled out nearly 2 seconds here over Bad Boy. He needs a little bit more than that if he is to get this podium position here. Oh, it's Random's made the move on Senna. But Senna's coming back at him on the inside there. The two Ferraris once again dicing it out here. Random will have to DRS down the start finish straight and could come back at him here. I think it's pretty clear there's no team orders at Ferrari right now. Random on his medium tyres is fully going for it. Senna has got a fight on his hands here in the closing stage of this race. There's V10 Ultra running in third place, a few seconds clear, or a couple of seconds clear of Bad Boy. He needs a bit more than that if he's to finish in third place with his penalty. Matty Pitt's got 6 seconds worth of penalties here. Spazzaman with 3. Papa Squanch with no penalties. So as it stands, Papa Squanch will move up into P5 by the end of this race. We've got a safety car. Why have we got a safety car? There's a front wing gone flying somewhere. Oh yeah, Freddie's lost his front wing. So safety car is out here in the closing stages, and that is going to give us a heck of a finish here. So that's going to bunch everyone up. Is anyone going to chance it and go for some soft tyres here in this final stint? Surely someone's got to. I reckon Bad Boy probably will. He's got 9 seconds back to Spazzaman. Is that a free pit stop under a safety car? It's got to be close. What about V10? He's got to roll the dice. He'll only drop to P5 at worst. Surely nothing to lose for V10 Ultra. Senna and Random obviously going to come in. Oh, well, they've got to, really, haven't they? Worst that can happen, they'll lose track position to V10 Ultra. Well, saying that, though, only 2 laps left in this race. This is a real difficult decision here, I've got to say. This is actually a difficult one to call. I don't know what these guys are going to do here. Random and Senna coming through the final corner. Are they going to split it? Are one of them going to do one thing and another do another? Here we come, then, towards the pit lanes. Random's coming in. What about Senna? Senna's also coming. No. Oh, he's having a good think about it there with Senna. He was in 2 minds there, wasn't he? He wasn't sure what he wanted to do. He's coming in. V10's also coming in. Is Bad Boy coming in? Yes. Is anyone going to roll the dice and stay out? Probably not, because they're going to come out behind these 4 anyway. So the top 4 all coming in, and that's pretty crucial, because there's no split strategy here. So tyres, top 4 all on the softs. Papa Squanch is coming in, presumably for soft tyres as well. Spazzaman, Drauga and Matty Pitt all on the softs. So yeah, everyone putting softs on. So this is now a straight up sprint to the line for the last however many laps we have. Is it going to be 3 or is it going to be just a 2? If we can get ourselves onto the train and get ourselves ready, we might be able to have 3 laps of racing, but I reckon it's probably going to be 2 laps. I can't see us being ready for the restart at the end of this lap. We've got Phil Adderton there saying hi, Andy. DJ Phil there, former racer here in the F1 League. Welcome along, mate. Hello, good to see you. A lot of the drivers will remember DJ Phil used to race with us in F1 Project Cars too, as well. But here we are then. This is it. Closing stages now. We're going to have a sprint to the finish after this safety car. The question is, are we going to be able to go this lap? Because Rexy Boy currently trying to catch up to the pack. How is this Formula One not even got the game yet? Neither have I. Neither have I. In terms of I haven't played it. I got the game last week and did my first commentary on Tuesday night for Purple Sector. So I'm as clueless as you, mate. To be honest. But from what I can see in terms of what I've watched, the handling looks a little bit more realistic. It's more favourable towards wheel users. It's been kind of not ruined, but it's been certainly made a bit challenging for pad users from what I can see at the moment, and also from what I've been told. But the handling looks a lot more slidey, a lot more difficult to keep control of. So yeah, it looks a bit more like what you'd see probably in real life. It's a bit more challenging to drive, but yeah, overall it's made for some exciting viewing so far. The spectator mode is improved. I've noticed little subtle differences, like for example, if you can sort of, like what you're seeing right now, you can kind of pick a corner to sort of cycle through the pack. So for example here you can sort of, as they're all passing the camera, you can flick through all of them. On previous F1 games, if you change driver on a certain angle, it would change camera every time you switch driver, whereas here you can stick with the same camera angle and it recognises that you're in the same location. So that's a really cool thing that I like about this F1 game. They had it on Project Cars 2, and Project Cars 2 obviously came out in 2017, and it always made me chuckle a little bit how the F1 games that came out 4 or 5 years after Project Cars 2 couldn't do what Project Cars 2 was able to do back in 2017, where simple things like this, where you can stick with the same camera angle and watch the whole pack go through one section. I know it's a little thing, but it's a thing that I always used to love doing in Project Cars 2, and I'm so glad that they've now also got it on the F1 game as well. I know I sound like a complete nerd, hailing these ridiculously mundane pros and cons, but it's something that I just think is really cool. But anyway, coming towards the end of this safety car here, we've got Random leading the way, both in the same tyres now, Random and Senna. So Senna's going to have a crack at his teammate for sure, but is he going to have enough time to do it? It's going to be no DRS before the end of the race. Actually no, sorry, I need to check myself there. There will be DRS down the back straight. So actually, Senna will get a chance to make this move on his teammates. So, this is it then. Sorry. Obviously, DRS enabled on lap 2 in the 2024 Formula 1 season. Get with it. Come on. Here we are then. In towards the final corner. 2 laps left to go here for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix here at Motive Racing. Senna's led for most of it, but Random's, for moments, at least has led in the last couple of laps here. And he's now headed Senna when it matters, but both of them on the soft tyres. Here we go then. Random puts his foot to the floor. We're back underway here. The 2 Ferraris lead us away here in Saudi Arabia. Bad Boy attacking on the back of Vita Ultra. He had a quick start last time at the end of the safety car period, but what's going to happen here is he looks down the inside of Vita Ultra, but Vita Ultra holding his ground as they're side by side, and Bad Boy there holding the inside. Oh no, there's a crash there between Bad Boy and Vita Ultra, and Vita Ultra appears to have lost his front wing. Bad Boy's got big damage. Both of those two way down the order. Random and Senna leading the way here. Senna's going to try and get his teammate. He now knows that this is crucial here, because if he gets more points, he can gain massive amounts on his championship rivals here. Random could have brought himself into this championship battle though tonight, and this could be a baptism of fire for him. But we can see Senna now looking down the inside, or looking around the outside, should I say, of Random. Has he made this move stick? Random's going to try and keep himself there, but Senna's got ahead of him here coming through this sequence. So Senna now hits the front here on the penultimate lap of the race. He's made that move now. Can he hold on to it in the final lap and a half of this race? Random there just behind him. You've got Spazman ahead of Papa Squanch. Papa Squanch could be on for a podium here with those two crashing out in front of him. He's attacking on the back of Spazman right now. Matty Pitt there right behind these as well. They're all on fresh soft tyres. This is a sprint finish to this Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. But the big news there, Bad Boy and Vita Ultra taking each other out. Vita Ultra still going on course for a point as things stand, but that is going to be the summit of his ambitions here tonight, as Random here trying to come back at his teammate. The DRS won't be enabled until the back straight. So that'll be the first opportunity. It won't be enabled out on the start finish straight here this time around. But nonetheless, Random doesn't need DRS. He's going to try and make the move anyway. Here, side by side down the start finish straight we go. Random for the lead of the race makes the move on his teammate. Senna trying to hold it around the outside. Oh my goodness, this is great racing here between the two Ferraris. Random there getting a better exit out of that first chicane, managing to keep onto the lead here for the time being. Senna's going to have to make this move through that DRS zone towards the final corner if he wants to get the win here tonight. So it's Random from Senna, Spazzaman with Papa Squanch trying to challenge on the back of Spazzaman. They're all in the DRS train here, or they will be when they get to the back straight. So nobody's going to get an easy move here on the driver in front. But Random here, the thorn in the side for his teammate. What can Senna do here in this final half a lap of this Saudi Arabian Grand Prix? Freddie saying, holy crap, I caused a photo finish. You certainly have, mate. You've made it a little bit more exciting than what it would have been. I think also Vita Ultra and Bad Boy are going to be cursing you at this moment in time. But you've set us up a hell of a exciting finish here. But Random and Senna still going at it right now. 0.2 of a second between these two, as we've got literally a sector to go in this one. Is Senna going to have a chance in the DRS? He's going to have this one DRS zone now to try and get the win and gain more points on his championship rivals here. Here we go then, getting closer and closer and closer. Brandon's going to try and defend, surely. This is for the win here in the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Here we go, Senna looking to the outside. He's going to try and go around the outside, but Random's got that inside line covered off. Senna can't get a cut back here. Surely Random's going to see this one out up towards the line here to finish the race here for round 2 of the season here at Motive Racing. It's going to be Random to hold on from Senna just by the skin of his teeth there. Papa Squanch over in third, head of Spazzaman, followed by Matty Pitt, who loses out on the penalties there to Anime Boy. Anime Boy P5, Matty Pitt 6. Matty Pitt loses 2 places actually there. Rexy Boy and T 6th and 7th, with Matty Pitt 8th, Dragon 9th, and Vita Ultra coming into the final corner. We'll pick up the final point there after his crash there with Bad Boy. Didn't elect to come into the pits, or I think he might have done actually because his car, yeah, he's got his front wing there. So Vita Ultra, the last to finish there. But your race winner tonight is Random, holding on by a whisker there from Senna, as Senna really gave it everything in the closing moments of that race, but couldn't quite get the win, but nonetheless gains points on his championship rivals. But I tell you what, Random here could be a contender. He could have just announced himself here tonight in this fight for the title. Ferrari certainly got to be the favourites in the constructors, but Senna's not going to have a walkover here this season with his teammate V10 and Bad Boy. But if V10 and Bad Boy continue to take points off each other like they did tonight, then the Ferrari boys are going to run away with it, that's for sure. But thanks everyone for watching tonight. Been a pleasure as always to commentate, and make sure you join us next week on a Friday night. For those of you who are Motive viewers, obviously we've got Purple Sector back on tomorrow, or not tomorrow, next week should I say. Purple Sector will be back on Tuesday night as always. For Motive, we'll be back Friday night 7:30 PM at the same time as always for the Japanese Grand Prix from Suzuka, and Purple Sector will be back on Tuesday night. I'm just quickly checking where we're going to be, the Purple Sector next week. So next week it will be the Canadian Grand Prix on Tuesday night and the Spanish Grand Prix on Thursday night. So tune in for that. And yeah, as I said before, join us next week for Motive Racing for the Japanese Grand Prix on Friday night at 7:30 PM UK time. But yeah, thanks everybody. Congratulations to Random on taking the win, Senna and Papa Squanch on the podiums. We'll see you all later on. Good night.